1, 2, testing. We are testing. It's saying that my stream is not at optimal quality for those of 5 people that are watching. It says that it is at 768 by 432. It is not optimal quality. I must make it optimal quality. So that is why I'm doing this test. But since 4 people are now watching the logo, I figured I'll say something to let you know that my stream quality is healthy, except I'm not at optimal resolution. So I must change the resolution in OBS, I suppose, to get to optimal quality. As I just decided 3 minutes ago. Who's that? Tanya. I see Tanya said hi. Hey, Tanya, how you doing? If, by the way, there is a little delay in when I see you, I will see it immediately, but there's about a 20-second delay between what you type and the audio coming out. So I do see it, and that is why it sounds like, oh, I'm a little late in saying hello to you, but I'm not actually. So I just say hi this way than to type hi while I'm talking. But yeah, I'm doing a little test to see how it's going. I'm going to start things back up again and go live on YouTube soon. I just figured, why not test it out and see how it looks? And I don't even know what my webcam is. Great, Tanya. I'm glad you're doing good. What's happening? Chilling out on a Monday night? Seeing what's going on. Let me get the webcam. Hold on a second. My webcam, I'm going to put it up here. Hold on. See me struggling. I'm putting the webcam up on the screen. The actual camera. I actually take the camera down. It's a separate cam. It's not in my computer. And I'm so like paranoid that people are watching me that I purposely put it down and faces downward so you can't see anything, just in case, because you never know. On my laptops, I have tape covering the cameras so you can't see anything. And usually I guess they can hear me. I don't know there's a lot of spying going on. So you never know. So you got to be careful. I tell everybody you should put tape over your cameras. Like Zuckerberg does it. All these computer guys do it. And it's true. I mean, honestly, I don't know what you'd find if you were spying on me. There's really nothing. You'd see the studio wall. I mean, that's what you would see. But just in case. So why not? Just put something over it. Put a piece of tape over it. Yeah, let me put the camera on. Let me see what I'm looking like here. Hold on a second. I got to switch over to OBS and look at my camera to see if... All right, there I am. Hold on. Let me fix the lighting. I got to fix the lighting in here so it looks better before I reveal myself to the world. I'm seeing the pink lights. I got that going. I got pink. We'll turn the white lights on over here. Let's see. We can brighten it up. And here I'm going to switch over. I will fade. There's the fade. There you go. Now you can see in the background here, right here. See here? That's the computer that I'm doing the test on. So that's how I know it's about a 20-second delay between when I switch something and to what you see. So then you'll soon see me switch. And there it goes. See, it's switched. And that's the computer I use to look stuff up. Or I can use the one that I'm on. But it uses a lot of resources. And that's the other thing that I wanted to see is how, if it gets choppy, if I look like an idiot. I'm looking, as you see, I'm looking over at myself. And it looks like it's pretty clear and clean, though it looks a little dark. compared to what OBS is sending out. But that could just be my computer screen. I don't know. Let me go back to the YouTube screen. That's right, Tanya. Better to be safe than sorry. Cassandra says, the people spying on my cam will be disappointed. Exactly. There's nothing. Look, you can see what's behind me. There's nothing here. Look, there's a curtain right here. That's a curtain. So you'll see that. You'll see walls. I mean, depending on what camera you're looking at. I have this computer that's here. So the camera's facing me, but that's not on. I have another computer that's usually over here, except it's not right now. It's up by my DJ stuff because that's the DJ music computer, which I'll move over here when I'm doing the show. But like I said, this is just a test. This wasn't really even meant to be anything. I have nothing prepared. I mean, I could talk about anything, but I wasn't like I just figured, let me do a test. I've gone on YouTube Live. I've never done, on a Facebook Live, but I've never done a YouTube Live, though I promised that I was going to do all this YouTube shit when my subscribers hit 1,000, which was like in October. But I had to like slow things down. And there was reasons behind that. Now that I'm looking at my camera, there's reasons why nothing happened after that last show in October. And then I did a couple of COVID shows with my neighbor that are on my Facebook channel, on my YouTube channel. But we didn't do the whole Michael Jackson challenge thing. And there's a reason behind it. I don't want to get into the reasons, but if anybody knows the way things are, there is a real good reason. And it's fine. I mean, I'll put out Michael Jackson stuff again when there's something with Michael to talk about. I mean, I could always talk about him, I suppose. But at this point, why bother? I see all the other people that do their Michael Jackson shtick and their channels, and fuck them all. Yeah, that's what I say. Screw them. But there's a good reason anyway. So I decided that I'm going to start up doing the show how I meant the show to be originally, which is to be a show about anything and everything and whatever people want to talk about. Tanya, you missed me. I'm glad you did. I miss putting stuff out. Believe me, I really did. And there was like I said, there was a big reason why I went away. And I really had to, because there was things I had to take care of in order for me to go live, and now I can again. And then this whole COVID thing happened. And then I go, what the hell am I going to talk about? COVID-19 every single day? Who wants to hear about that? You hear enough about it in the news, right? So why am I going to talk about it? What the hell? So I just was like, I'll just be quiet. I was going to do music stuff. I thought about doing that. I was going to do like my top 10 albums that influenced me. I don't know if you saw that going around Facebook. So I did my top 10. Somebody, they basically put it on you. I mean, you don't even want to do it. And then they go, I nominate Matt Blaze to tell me the top 10 albums that influenced their musical taste. Just post a cover, that shit. So I did all that. And then I thought, well, maybe I should do a show about it. And I should play the music of the albums, because it says no description, no anything about it, just post a cover. So I go, well, maybe I want to give an answer. Maybe I want to give a description of why this certain album influenced my taste in music. So I thought maybe I'll do a show about it. Maybe I'll still do a show about it. I still have my list that I made. I mean, I could do 20 albums. I did my top 10. Maybe I'll do more. Tanya says she's a huge MJ supporter. As I am, you know that I am. Hey, Gator McCluskey. There we going back. He's checking things out. Gator, I'm thinking maybe we should do something together. I can incorporate you into the show. Do a call-in or something, because I watch his movie reviews. They're amazing. I love them. So we must talk now that, we'll get things going. Though I love what you're doing. And I have from the beginning. Way back in the Davey and Goliath days. We'll give a little shout out to Davey and Goliath. That's what we need on YouTube. That's what you need to send me so I can play it on this show. And let the church come after me. Whoever that church is. Are they still around? Yeah, we could do a show about movies. That's what Cassandra said, a show about movies. Go to Gator McCluskey. You see, he posted right there. Go to his YouTube channel. This guy, anybody that I know, there's no one that knows more about movies than Gator McCluskey. Yeah, we're going to do something, man. I mean, you can do like a movie call-in, or, you know, once I get the show rolling, we could do a little call-in review about stuff, and, you know, we'll get it a weekly thing, or I could play the clips of your show on this show and whatever. We'll figure something out. But Cassandra, go to Gator McCluskey's channel and check out his movie reviews. Yeah, I know. I know you told me that years ago that you try and post and they always get stripped away. Because I remember them from a very long time ago. And they were hysterical. I'm sure they hold up. Do they hold up? I bet you they hold up. To the Blacklight podcast. No, I do not. I don't really listen to a whole lot of podcasts. I got to be honest. I don't. I know I probably should. I should do more. That's why I got to get back into this thing. I got to do more podcasting. I got to do more shows. I got to do an actual show and prepare. This is not even prepared. I told you, I literally was sitting in my studio and I go, you know, I got to get something going again. And I said, I never went YouTube live. I've done Facebook live, but I never did YouTube live. So I go, let me see how it works. So that's why I threw up the logo and I played my theme music for like 3 times. And then I saw a few people coming up on there and I go, hey, let's do a little yapping. Get back in touch with the people and see who comes on. And I got some people listening. Oh, Gator, of course, my man. From the very beginning. Because I know what you've done. I know the talent behind you. I've seen it from a long time ago and now. And I love it. I love the show. Maybe I should play a clip right now of the Gator McCluskey show. What your last review was. I could pull it up. I could pull up the last review and play it. If you see me looking, is what I'm doing is I'm looking at YouTube on my other screen, and I will put up the last Gator McCluskey review. But you always had good reviews, even before you started doing it officially. And I've always listened to your recommendations, and I will tell you, see, now I'm looking at myself, and I can see I might be a little spotty at the stream. But getting back to Gator, what I was saying was, you know, I've listened to all your reviews, and even before you were doing it officially, and I will tell you what you got me into, because you just posted about it years ago, is Ray Donovan. And I remember you said Ray Donovan is like the new Sopranos when it was in season 1, and I agreed with you. I absolutely agree. Now, I don't know about the later seasons, if it's lived up to Sopranos, but it's definitely one of my favorites, and I'm hoping that it's coming back. I know Liev Schreiber said he might bring it back. We're hoping. But I'm trying to look at Gator's last. I'm trying to find your last review. I'll throw it up here on the channel, the Gator McCluskey channel. You would think I would have this all down, but yeah, Tanya said Wade and James are going down. Oh, Palm Springs. That was your last one. Oh, yeah, here it is. I got you. Yeah, I watched Palm Springs. It was, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to play a little. So for those of you who, yeah, I'm just looking at the comments. Yeah, Ray. I love that. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do something to wrap it up. I really do. because I know a lot of people were outraged that it was canceled. I mean, why would they do that? I don't know what they were thinking. Yeah, Cassandra's talking about Wade Robson and James Safechuck, the two idiots in Leaving Neverland, the Michael Jackson documentary, because I did a lot about Michael Jackson, and I was going to do more, and I'll probably do more when it comes out, when there's more stuff to do. But that's what Cassandra is referring to, and Tanya, I see. Both of them talking about Wade, James. Fuck them both. Two fucking idiots. I'm going to play you a little Gator. I'm going to play you the last review. I just got to do one thing. Cassandra is referring to, and Tanya, I see. Both. Yeah, I'm getting feedback from myself. So I got to figure out how to shut that off so you can actually hear it. I think it's coming from the camera. I don't know. I got to figure that out. I got a little problem, because if I play the video, you're not going to hear the music. I mean, you're not going to hear Gator's review. So as I turned up, coming from you hear that the camera. I don't know. I got to figure that out. I got a little that's delay of me, so I have to figure out how to get that out of here. But let me play you some Gator McCluskey, and let me pull it up here. Hold on. I'm gonna play you the last thing. I gotta put it over here. Where is it? No, we're gonna take myself out. Here we go. Let me blow it up so we got full screen. This is my friend Gator McCluskey's Palm Springs review. Here, hold on. I'm going to play you the last thing. I got to put it over here. Where is it? No, we're going to take myself out. Here we go. Let me blow it up so we got full screen. This is my friend Gator McCluskey's
Hey friends, how are you?
Review.
I hope you're healthy, and you're happy, and you're doing well. You know, I've been checking out all these great quarantine band videos lately, and it's such a great way for your favorite musicians to get together without getting the COVID, right? And this led me to believe I had the greatest idea ever for this show. I hope you're healthy. So, I can't go to the movies with my friends, but what I can do...
Yeah, see, I'm getting all sorts of feedback. So I got to figure out why that's happening. I mean, I know a way I can take it off, but then I won't be able to play the review from this computer here. I'm going to go back to my camera here. But I have to figure it out. See, this is why I'm doing the test. The test will tell me how to get all this stuff going. So that's the whole reason why we're doing the test. But anyway, if you want to see it, just go to Gator McCluskey and subscribe to his YouTube channel and see the Palm Springs review. I watched Palm Springs. I thought it was okay. You know, I like timed movies. So that's a time thing. So I was digging that part of it. But other than that, yeah, they get very expensive. Salaries go very deep, man. He's talking about Ray Donovan. And that's why a lot of these shows get canceled, because it just doesn't cost. The cost to make a lot of these TV shows are, even though the shows are good, they got to be great. And if they're not great, they get canceled. Because there's been a couple of shows that I got into, and I go, well, they're great shows. And they go, well, the cost to make the show, to viewership and ratings, doesn't make sense for the network. So they go, it's just too costly to make the show. So we got to cancel it. And there's a bunch of network shows that happened to over the last, in the last 10 years. Some of them lacked in storyline, and then they just had to get rid of it because they wasn't getting the ratings. But you would think Ray Donovan is like a staple, a Showtime staple. What else are they showing? I guess they got to keep up with Netflix now and Hulu and Amazon Prime and YouTube. I watched Cobra Kai on YouTube. I like that. I was just watching it the other day. I was revisiting Cobra Kai like a month ago. I was kind of digging it again. But yeah, that's the problem with a lot of television, especially now where there's so much content from so many places. People are cutting the cord. Some people don't even have cable anymore. A lot of people don't have cable. All you need is Hulu or a Roku. I got all of it. I got all the channels. I subscribe to YouTube just because of Cobra Kai. So I got that. And it's not even on this account. I got like 300 different YouTube accounts. So it's not even on the Matt Blaze Show account. It's on some other account. So I got that. I have Hulu. I have Netflix. I got Disney Plus. So I could watch The Mandalorian and all the Disney movies that I never watched. And also, somebody wanted to watch Hamilton in my house. That's all I'm going to say. It wasn't me. I haven't watched it yet. So I go, I get the Disney Plus. And I got television. I got regular TV. Right now, I got Family Feud on in this room. Right now, I'm watching Family. Listen, here, let me play this.
He ain't up there. This gonna be a hard one. I can tell y'all right now.
Steve Harvey.
Yes,
That's what's on my TV right now.
You win. If it's not, you're still alive.
Family
Name
Feud.
a basketball player who's a Superman.
Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, that's Family Feud that I'm watching right now while I'm doing the show. I got television everywhere. I can put any audio from any TV show on. I have it all hooked together. Cobra Kai moved to Netflix for season 3. Yeah, I never got into Shameless. I watched maybe, I want to say the first few episodes of Shameless. And I know it's one of those shows that are on my list that I got to watch. I just finished watching Little Fires Everywhere. It was all right. I just finished watching Hannah on Amazon Prime. I like that. You know, young chick kicking ass. Gotta like that. Now, Gator, what do you think about this whole Sopranos sequel, prequel, season 7 after the movie coming out? I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. I don't think how are they going to, first of all, how they can do a sequel? How would they do it? What are they going to have? Anthony AJ is going to be like Tony now? They're going to set it now? Everybody's going to be dead? How are they going to do it? Or do you think it's going to be a series prequel? Which, by the way, I always thought they should have done. Yeah, I got to check out Nurse Jackie too. Cassandra, you never had cable? Me either. I got cable when, back in the day, when cable was like 30 channels. Remember that? And you had the old clicker box. That I remember. But yeah, what do you think though? I'm going back to Sopranos. Do you think they're going to do, HBO's going to do something with it? I heard the other day, it was getting reported the other day, that after the movie, they were going to do a season 7. Right, the prequel movie is finished. It's shot already. It's supposed to be coming out. It was supposed to come out September. Now they pushed the date back. Right. So I don't understand. They were talking about season 7 of The Sopranos. I think they're just trying to hype people up. I really do. I don't think at all that there should be any sequel. Because that's what they were hinting at. They were hinting at like, what really happened to Tony that day? But he's dead. James Gandolfini's dead. So it doesn't really matter what happened to him. Now they can just say, well, he died. I was always under the impression, based on that scene, which is brilliant, even though so many people were pissed off about it, I knew it was brilliant, that Tony's dead. That's what I drew from the conclusion, that he's dead. With all the cutting, with the pacing, him looking up with the bell, all that stuff, and then it goes black, that Tony's just dead. That whole thing with him and Bobby on the lake, I just think he's dead. Yeah, Gator. They were talking about it, but not saying oh, there's gonna be a season 7. I think they were just hyping things up to get, I don't know, maybe views on the article because it said season 7 of The Sopranos. They were saying after the movie's out, because here's what happened. The president of HBO goes, never say never. That was all of a sudden, that meant, oh, there's gonna be a season 7. That's all he said. And I went, come on, man. What are you doing that to people? Tony's dead. Even if he didn't die in the show, the guy who played him is dead. So yeah, Michael Gandolfini, his son, can play Tony Soprano, but he can't play Tony Soprano now. He can't play, how old would he be now? He'd be 60. He can't play 60-year-old Tony Soprano. Maybe. I've always said they should do a prequel of The Sopranos going back to, let's say, the 80s and do that show. So we could see how Tony came up before the show started. That's what I'd want to see. Where they lived, when he bought the house in North Caldwell, all the stories that they told about the one story about how he robbed the poker game. You could see his relationship with Jackie, all that kind of stuff. The relationship with Carmela, how the whole thing would see if Charmaine and Tony almost really got together. Like things like that is the stuff I want to see. That would be cool. Yeah, and you're right. We don't know if Michael can even act well. We'll find out in the movie. I mean, it is pretty cool that he is playing a young Tony because he does look like him. And apparently they did audition a lot of other actors. So, and they figured this guy looks just like him. And even if he can be like a halfway decent actor, I mean, who knows how many takes they're doing, how many takes they did. And I hope the movie was well. I mean, I can't wait for some of the, I'm sure there's going to be some, obviously there's going to be a reference to the show. Dickie Moltisanti is going to play a big part of it. But they're going to have to do a fast forward or they're going to fuck up the whole Sopranos universe. Because they say that the movie's supposed to take place during the riots in Newark, right? Which was in the 60s. But in the 60s, Tony Soprano was like 8. So they're going to have to do like maybe start with those riots and then move forward. Right, yeah, Dickie Moltisanti is going to be the focus. So that's cool. Oh, 3 hours. A 3-hour movie. That's, see, I'll watch it. I can't wait for it to come out. Why can't they just put it out already? I mean, they want everybody to go to the theater, but I mean, and I know, and so do you, Gator. I mean, there's nothing like watching a movie in a theater. All these people that just stay home and rent movies all the time, fuck them. You got to go to the movie theater. And I've seen movies that were old. I went to see, when I think it was the 20th? No. Yeah, no, 20th or 25th. The 25th anniversary of Back to the Future. And they were playing it in the theater. I went and saw it. I went to the theater to watch that. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. And not only did I go and watch it, they gave a movie poster, and they were giving away the Blu-ray of all 3 movies. It was the 25th anniversary, right? And they were giving away the Blu-ray. And they go, all right, here's the questions. We're going to ask some questions. Whoever answers it gets this. And they had a couple of prizes, and the main prize was the Blu-ray of all 3 movies. I go, I got to win this. I go, I know everything about Back to the Future, right? Listen to this. Here was the question. The question that they asked for the Blu-ray. They said, what was the name of the development that Marty McFly lived in? And right away, I go, Lion Estates. And they go, oh, you won. And they give me the DVDs. I mean, the Blu-rays. And I won the Blu-ray pack, 25th anniversary. Well, actually, at the time, they didn't give me the actual Blu-rays. They gave me the voucher for them to mail it to me or something like that. So I had to get it mailed, right? So they mailed me, and I got the DVDs. I still have them. But the funny thing was the next question was for something like, it wasn't, I don't even remember what it was. It was not, the prize, the big prize was the Blu-ray. The next prize was like something stupid. I didn't even remember what it was. And the question was harder. They said, what was the name of George McFly's book? I had no fucking clue. I thought I knew everything about Back to the Future. I had no idea. But somebody else got that one. But I got Lion Estates. I got the Blu-rays. So I still have them. So yeah, let me look at the comments because sometimes I, and like I said, there is a delay between what you type and me being able to talk about it. The new yeah, you know what, Gator, I do have to check that out. I heard about that podcast because I was watching something about The Sopranos, or I saw that Bobby, Steve Sharipa, and Imperioli have a podcast where they talk about Soprano stuff. I got to check that out. Yeah, so you want to know why? Okay, here's what happened with Crispin Glover in part 2 of Back to the Future. And here's the reason why he was replaced. And it was a contract dispute. Crispin Glover apparently thought he was more important to the Back to the Future franchise and thought he could rake them over the fucking coals and get more money than he was worth. Now, I don't know what they offered him. I don't know what the contract was. But that was the reason that they replaced him, was because they said, here's what we're going to give you. And he said, no, fuck you. And he went, I'm not going to do the movie. And they said, okay, fine, don't do the movie. Which is the reason in Back to the Future Part 2 that the guy who they have replacing him is upside down. When you first see him, he's like upside down in that crazy thing with his back. That's the reason. It was to hide that it's not Crispin Glover. It's also the reason why he's barely seen in the movie in the future. It's because it's not Crispin Glover. I mean, I wonder to this day, I haven't read any interviews lately. I'd have to go look some up to see if Crispin Glover regrets not being in Back to the Future 2. Because what else has he done that he's done? Gator, you probably know. What else has he done besides Back to the Future that's real memorable? Did he do that movie, the Rat movie, right after Back to the Future? I know he's in Hot Tub Time Machine. I love that. That was funny. But I mean, what else? You know, he's been in some artsy movies, I guess. He was like a real actor. I was just watching him the other day in Friday the 13th. Was it the final chapter? I think he was in. Yeah, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. That's the one with what's his face? Corey Feldman. Yeah, Crispin Glover is one of the teenage. He's the dork. He's like a geeky guy trying to get the chicks. In Friday the 13th Part 4. Yeah, he wanted more money. Yeah, Willard, the Rat movie, Willard. And Hot Tub Time Machine. I don't even know what other movies he's done. I'd have to look it up. I have no idea. On Crispin Glover's IMDb, like what movies he's done of any real value. Crispin Glover. Let's say Crispin Glover. Look up his movies. His Wikipedia. But that's the reason why he left Back to the Future. Now, the other thing I want to see with Back to the Future is I want to see they talk about it all the time. Bob Gale, one of the writers, and Zemeckis, and the other writer, the other Bob, I think his name, well, Bob Zemeckis. There's another guy. When they wrote the movie, they talk about that they're going to, someday, they're going to release the Eric Stoltz footage. I'd love to see that. Oh, so he did reconnect with Zemeckis. Yeah, so I'm looking at his IMDb. Yeah, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And there's 84. 85, Back to the Future. Oh, he was in At Close Range. He was in Twister. I don't even remember that. He was in the Doors movie. Oh, that's right. He was Andy Warhol in the Doors in 91. He was in The People versus Larry Flint. He was in Charlie's Angels in 2000 as Cassandra pointed out. What else? The Donner Party in 2009. Anything else we know of? He's got a couple coming out, it says, to be announced. So that would be cool. He was in a couple of TV shows. He was in an episode of The Facts of Life in 1982. He was on Happy Days. He played a guy named Roach. He was on Family Ties in 84. He was on Hill Street Blues. So he did some things. That's about it. But Hot Tub Time Machine, that was I like that movie too. Even Chevy Chase, though I do think Chevy Chase is such a douche. I mean, I got to be honest, Vacation is one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, I know I've watched some of the screen test stuff. I have seen Eric Stoltz's screen test. They have some of it in the Blu-ray, and I've seen it, but I want to see, I love to see like the real scenes that he shot, because they did shoot a lot. I mean, they shot for 6 weeks with Eric Stoltz, and they're always trying to claim, I think it's the part when Marty hits Biff in the diner, they're trying to say that that's Eric Stoltz's fist or something like that. There's some, there's all those people that watch this shit frame by frame. People are always trying to find, like, if there's an Eric Stoltz in the movie kind of thing, which I think is pretty funny. But, and I don't want to see another Back to the Future, and I don't want to see a remake. Please, really. I know they're remaking all the 80s movies. That's the last thing we need. We don't need any remakes anymore, reboots of our movies. We just don't. They're fine. There's no reboot of any 80s movie that I've watched that I've gone, oh yeah, this is great. They really needed to none. There's not one. Not one. Most of them I go, why they try and remake? It's terrible. It's just sometimes there's a little nod to the original. Even like when they did Vacation over. It was just like, yeah, why they even name it Vacation? Like, that's the other thing. Sometimes they reboot these movies and I go, why don't they just pick a new name for the movie? Why'd they call it a reboot or a remake or fuck it? Just do something else. Enough already. Yeah, Tanya's talking about Chevy Chase being selfish. Yeah, he was known as to be a big asshole. That's why he never really had a movie career, because nobody wanted to fucking work with him. He was a douche. Yeah, Christmas Vacation, the Vacation movies are some of my favorite. Especially the first one. Christmas Vacations, I watch it every year, Christmas time. I like Fletch, the first Fletch. And what was the other one? Was it the one when he buys the farm with was that Funny Farm? Is that the one where he's got the crazy mailman? I mean, he's done some good movies. They're not all terrible. But when you know that he's such a douchebag, you go, well, I don't want to watch his fucking movies. And he had that horrible talk show that lasted all of 6 weeks. They renamed the theater after him, and then they had to paint it over, because it said the Chevy Chase Theater, and they just got rid of it. Horrible. That's why he's never really done much. And now he's old. He looks terrible. But whatever. Everybody gets old, I guess. What are you going to do? He'd probably do more Vacation movies. That'll be his legacy. Oh, and Caddyshack. How can I forget Caddyshack? It's a classic. Yeah, Bewitched. You're right, Cassandra. The Bewitched remake. Why did we need that? We did not need a Bewitched remake. And you know what I just watched? Like the other day? Fantasy Island, the movie. I watched that. And I go, the show was so great. And I watched the Fantasy Island. And I could see them trying. Well, I don't know if they'll make another one. Because then they have the end, they tie in Tattoo and the whole thing. Ugh. Then they had remember the Chips movie? That's the other thing too, when they make TV shows, old TV shows into movies. I will say though, a couple of TV remakes haven't been horrible. I mean, Hawaii Five-0 lasted a while. What's it called? Magnum P.I. I think that's still on. Did that get canceled yet? Yeah, Death Race 2000 would be cool. That would be a cool movie. Yeah, they need to do something with that. Yeah, Gator, it's funny you talk about Bruce Willis. What the fuck happened to Bruce Willis? Are they just paying him to be in shitty movies now? Because every time I'm scrolling through Netflix, I see a Bruce Willis movie I never fucking heard of. And the same with Nicolas Cage. I think they just go, Nicolas Cage, Bruce Willis, here's millions in dollars to be in our shitty movie. And Bruce is like, fuck it, I'll take it. You're going to pay me, I'll be in a shitty movie. I've already done plenty of great movies. Be in some crappy ones and get paid. Why not? Because all these movies, I see another one I saw the other day on Netflix. I go, what Bruce Willis movie is this? And now I keep seeing, what is it called? Running with the Devil? That's a Nicolas Cage movie. Another action movie. I don't know what's going on with that. There's tons of these movies now with these movie stars. They're paying them a fortune to be on Netflix. They did with Jennifer Aniston and on Amazon. They gave her money and Sandler on Netflix, and they just giving them tons of dough. That's where their budget goes to. I love Scream. Yeah, I didn't even watch the TV show. Yeah, it's so true. Bruce Willis became John Travolta, became Nick Cage. It's so true. And Travolta was like, biggest movie star in the world. Then the 80s came. Then Pulp Fiction came. Then he did a couple of okay movies. I like Face Off with Nick. I mean, I do like Face Off. I got to be honest. But I don't know what happened to Battleship Earth. I mean, what happened with that movie? What was going on there? Caused a fortune, made shit. Yeah. I like the Scream movies too. I didn't watch the show. I think I watched like maybe an episode or two. There's so much content now. Honestly, I forget. I forget what happened in between seasons. I don't even know. I need the recap. When I watched Hannah, I forgot what happened in the last season of Hannah that I watched less than a year ago. I totally forgot it. Plus there's the movie. So I go, wait, was I seeing this in the movie or the TV show? I had to go back and watch the last 3 episodes of the first season of Hannah before I watched the new season of Hannah. Because I forgot what happened. Yeah, Tanya, you're right. The Conners is okay. Because it's still relevant. And I thought even after they ousted Roseanne, whether you agree or disagree with that decision, I think the Conners is okay. Though I think Sarah Gilbert was a better actor when she was 12 than she is now. I think she had better timing then than now. I also don't like on the Conners, even though overall I like the show, I do not like what they did with Becky's character. Now she's like a lush. As in the original show, she was the smart one, and now she's like a dummy, which to me didn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, maybe she went down the road and had a hard life, and Mark died, her husband, and the guy who played him, he died in real life of drug overdose. But now all of a sudden she's like some dope, which I kind of thought was stupid. She was the smart one. Now she's an idiot. And the funny thing is the guy, what's his face? Michael Fishman, who plays DJ, he's doing about as much as he did on the original show. Nothing. They did nothing. And I got to say this, man, John Goodman is looking so old. I mean, he is, but he just looks ancient, man. And I watch reruns of Roseanne, and I see this, the big strapping John Goodman, and then you watch the new Roseanne, the new Conners, and he's losing the timbre in his voice. So he's got that old man voice that's coming out, and he's not the big strapping tough dude contractor. And of course, with Roseanne, they wiped out the entire last season of the original when they hit the lottery and all that shit. And, Dan really died and all that. They had to get rid of that. Sometimes you got to suspend belief. I've never watched a lot of Dexter. And I always say I'm going to watch it, but I never end up watching it. So that's one of those shows that I got to watch along with Shameless. I've been watching, I watched, I think the first episode or first 2 episodes. I don't know if you watched that show. It's called In the Dark or Into the Dark about the blind girl Murphy. Their season 2 just became available. So I started watching that yesterday. Yeah, oh yeah, Goodman was great in Fight. Goodman's done a bunch of good movies. John Goodman. He became like a pretty big, bona fide like movie star. And he's been in a bunch of good movies. Let me see. Let me look him up. I forget. I got to look him up and be like, oh yeah, he was in that. He was in this. Let me see. Goodman. What movies John Goodman was in. He was in, let's see, going into the night. Oh yeah, Blues Brothers 2000. The Big Lebowski. What else was he in? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. All right. He's in Coyote Ugly. Chick flick. He was in Monsters, Inc. Oh yeah, forgot about that. The Jungle Book 2. Cars, because he did the voices. So that was cool. He was in Evan Almighty. He was in B Movie. Remember the animated B Movie? He was in Argo. Flight, like you said. Hangover. He was in The Hangover Part 3. I don't remember The Hangover Part 3. That's a very forgettable. Thank goodness. Monsters University. Transformers Age of Extinction. The Gambler. Atomic Blonde. He was in that. Transformers Last Night. He's got a movie to be announced. Spring Break 83, it's called. Can't wait to see that. Spring Break. I remember that movie, the original. Oh, yeah, Raising Arizona. You're right. Yeah, we talk about Reg. Old Reg. Regis Philbin passed away at age 88 over the weekend. Regis did something that was pretty amazing. He was the guy who started the whole what'd you do this weekend thing and what'd you do yesterday on TV anyway, when he used to talk to Kathy Lee. I used to watch the show. When I was in college, I used to come home from class and watch Regis and Kathy Lee every day because it was really the only channel I can get on my little black and white TV in my dorm room. I got 3 channels. That was one of them that came in good, so I had to watch Regis and Kathy Lee. But Regis was a big star for a long time. He started writing on The Tonight Show with Steve Allen. And he had his own show. Then he did the morning show in L.A. before they finally gave him the national show. And then, of course, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And I think there was a contract dispute with Regis on one of his shows, and that's why he left. It might have been Millionaire. I don't know. But he walked away from Regis and Kelly. He was 80 years old. Time to go, man. But I think a guy like Regis, I mean, I guess what? He was 88. He died in his sleep. I don't know. Did they come out with why he died? I haven't looked at it today. But I think some people, I mean, he was 88. I can't say, he died 2 years after he went off the air. But he was an older guy. So what happens? But he died in his sleep. So I liked Regis. I thought he was a funny guy. He was the one who talked about Gelman. He was always talking about Gelman, the producer. So he brought that into TV. And, the great John Saxon. Enter the Dragon. Guy fought Bruce Lee. Besides being the cop in Nightmare on Elm Street, John Saxon was he was a character actor. He was in a ton of TV shows. I think a lot of people remember him more from all those TV shows that he did, besides the fact that he fought Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? I think. I mean, I remember that he fought Bruce Lee, of course. Love that guy. But he was always on, he was probably on every cop TV show back in the day. Something like that. I'm trying to look up his movie list or TV show list. John Saxon. Let me put him in. I spelled his name wrong. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, there he is. He was a teen idol. He was in Rock Pretty Baby in 1956. And it established him as a teen idol. Huh, who knew? Enter the Dragon. He was Roper, which was Bruce Lee's first major role in a Hollywood feature, by the way. So he's been in a lot of movies. Nightmare on Elm Street, the one that I remember the most. The Bees. Remember the movie The Bees? He was in that. 78. Let's see, what other movies would we know from the 80s? Let's see. He was in Fever Pitch in 85, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. My Mom's a Werewolf. Remember that? Beverly Hills Cop 3 he was in. He was in he was in a couple of Nightmare movies. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Last movie he did was in 2015. And then TV. Let's see. I'll tell you, he was on Gunsmoke for 10 years. He was on 5 episodes of Gunsmoke. He was in, let's see, Ironside, Bonanza, The Virginian, The Sixth Sense TV show. He was in Kung Fu TV show. Streets of San Francisco, The Rookies, Police Story, $6 Million Man. Yeah, I don't know. It depends where you live. If the theaters are going to open or not. I mean, I'm in Jersey. No theaters are open yet. And more movies keep getting pushed back. They're releasing some of them on these streaming networks, but a lot of them are getting pushed back. He's probably on Starsky. Was he on Starsky and Hutch? He was in Wonder Woman. Yeah, you're right. Starsky and Hutch. Wonder Woman, Quincy M.E. This is all John Saxon. Oh, Fantasy Island. He was in 6 episodes. I want to say he was probably on the Love Boat at some point, too. Somewhere in there. No, I don't see it. Vegas, Dynasty, Falcon Crest, Hardcastle and McCormick, Scarecrow and Mrs. King, The A-Team, Magnum P.I. These are all the TV shows John Saxon. Murder, She Wrote. Guy was in a lot. He was on Melrose Place. A recurring role. 4 episodes. Look at that. Then he was on Kung Fu, The Legend Continues. He was on CSI in an episode. Guy did a lot in his career. Made a fortune just being a character actor. Yeah, I kind of want to see Wonder Woman 1984. I want to see that. And of course, James Bond. I want to see that. I don't know if we're going to see any movies. Don't know. Craziness. How everything is just shut down. And who knows what's going to happen. I'm looking at the TV. There's an episode of The Simpsons on right now. I don't know which one. It's in black and white. Hey, you want to hear it? Hold on. Let's see.
The three-legged chase. You were right in there, Nick. Right at the meat of things.
There's no limit to you, is there?
And how would you have played the three-legged chase?
Why don't I show you?
Don't encourage her.
Encourage me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Simpsons. I just look up at the TV, see Simpsons. I'm watching Channel 9, New Jersey. So whatever's on. So I think the stream looks pretty good, at least from what I can see on my computer over there. It looks good. Seems all right. Even though it says that my resolution is only 768 by 432. But this camera is only a 720p camera. It doesn't look bad for 720p. So I was gonna get a 1080p camera. But do you remember Carmela Shrink? I do remember that. He was the bank manager in Dog Day Afternoon, huh? Who knew? I do remember the guy. I told him that guy was crazy. Because I told you I just watched The Sopranos like a month ago. I'm ready to watch it again. Maybe I'll watch like Ray Donovan. I got to go back and watch. I used to never go back and watch anything over again. And The Sopranos is probably the first series of anything that I ever went back and rewatched And I'm thinking I need to go back and rewatch some other stuff. I might go back and watch like Sons of Anarchy. I like that. I thought that was like The Sopranos with motorcycle gangs. So I might have to watch that. A couple other shows, but there's so much. So many shows out there. So much content. And then there's all the regular TV shows that I watch too. I can hardly keep up. And then I'm watching movies. Like I said, I forget. I really do. I forget from season to season what happened. If there's no recap, I'm lost. I watched that other show I thought was all right. Yeah, True Detective. I watched the first couple episodes and then I couldn't. I kind of stopped. And I got to get into that. And I also watched. I don't know if you watched Mindhunter. I watched both those seasons. See, that was another one. I started watching it the original season when it was out. I watched like the first 4 or 5 episodes, then I stopped. And then when season 2 came out, I had to go back and rewatch it. So I started from the beginning. Then what's it called too that I watched that I liked. I watched the first 3 seasons of American Horror Story. And then when I started watching Hotel that season with Lady Gaga, I kind of got lost in there and I stopped watching. And now there's been like, I don't know, a bunch of more seasons after that. And there's a couple of shows that have been on Hulu that I started watching too. Like I watched Hard Sun. I didn't finish it though. I only watched a couple episodes. So I watched that. That looked kind of interesting. Oh, by the way, Gator, did you watch The Old Guard? What'd you think? I'm sure you did because you watch everything. Did you like The Old Guard? Yeah, Tanya, I watch 2.5 Men pretty much every day as well, and The King of Queens every night because it's on like I think it's on right now on what's it called? TV Land. That's like my channel is TV Land. Yeah, let me see if it's on. I'm gonna put it on for you. Let's see what's on TV Land right now. And I heard Charlie Sheen talking about wanting to do another season, that he wants to end 2.5 Men properly and do another season. Something about that came up, which, I mean, Charlie Sheen's off his rocker, but I watch the show all the time now, and I wouldn't mind it, especially the way they ended it. I wouldn't mind. Yeah. King of Queens is on. So you see me looking up because I'm actually looking at the TV, and I'm trying to put on the King of Queens. Where'd it go? Watch. Yeah, I'm putting on King of Queens. Oh, you haven't watched Old Guard yet? Oh, you got to watch it. Watch Old Guard. I think you'll dig it. I mean, what's her face is in it? Charlize Theron. So you should watch Old Guard. It's kind of cool. Basically, it's like, well, you got to watch it. You'll watch it. You got to watch. I don't give it away. It's the Old Guard. She's got to fight for humanity and keep the world safe. Put it that way. So what's on? Oh, it's a commercial. I'm not going to put on the commercial. But yeah, Old Guard was good. Top 3 movies to rewatch. Goodfellas, absolutely. Boogie Nights, absolutely. Wolf of Wall Street, watched it. I think I watched it twice. I think I saw it in the theater and I watched it one more time. Goodfellas is one of those. I watch it every time it's on. Same with Boogie Nights, every time it's on. And I know why you love Boogie Nights. It's your boy, your man, your hero, the legend, Burt Reynolds. Oh, that's why you don't like female action flicks? Well, she does kick ass. So you didn't like, what's it called? Kill Bill? Not a fan? And to be honest, I never even watched part 2 of Kill Bill. I always go, I got to watch Kill Bill 1 and 2 together. So I never watched part 2. I watched part 1 and then I never get to part 2. But yeah, she's in it. Yeah, Charlize Theron is in it. Yeah, Goodfellas is pretty much always on somewhere. Besides the fact I own it. I mean, I own the Blu-ray of it. I had to buy it. The funny part about that, so Goodfellas was one of the very first movies I ever got on DVD. And when I got it, this was back in the beginning when DVDs first came out. And I put the DVD in and I go, wait, why the fuck's the movie starting in the middle? And why is this movie starting in the middle? And I kept hitting rewind and I go, why does it keep starting in the middle? Then I take the DVD out and I realized the movie was on both sides of the DVD. You had to flip the DVD over in the middle of the movie. What the hell? Before they got DVD down, they had to flip it. So then I was like, well, fuck that. I had that. I still had that old copy. And then the Blu-ray came out, I go, oh, I'll buy the Blu-ray. I very rarely buy movies that I own on DVD and then buy them again on the Blu-ray. Very rarely. There's only other movies that I've done that with was Pulp Fiction, 2 John Travolta movies, Pulp Fiction and Saturday Night Fever. I have the DVD and the Blu-ray. In fact, on Saturday Night Fever, I have a VHS, the DVD, and the Blu-ray. Because that movie's just nostalgic to me. There's so much nostalgia in that movie for me. No matter how many times I hear those songs, every time it makes me feel like I'm 7. And I've heard them 1,000 times at least. I mean, I DJ'd hundreds and hundreds of parties. Hundreds. And that was my go-to disco. We play Staying Alive or Night Fever or If I Can't Have You. So, but every time I hear those songs, I'm like 7 years old. So I love Saturday Night Fever just for that reason. I mean, it's a great movie, by the way. A lot of firsts in that. First movie, they were talking about blowjobs and cursing left and right. They didn't do that a lot back in 1977. Cassandra says, I own the DVD and Blu-ray just so I'm covered in the event my family tries to steal it. That's a good move. Good move. You're right. But you know what? As we're moving further and further away from physical media, you got to have a Blu-ray player and a DVD player. So, or at least a Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray will play DVDs. So I still have a Blu-ray. I have a DVD player somewhere. I also have a DVD player on my computer. I could pop one in. My DVDs are in the other part of the house. They're not even in this room. Actually, in this curtain behind me is the reason there's a curtain up there, there's nothing magical behind there. It's actually a mirror. There's closet doors that are mirrors. So I had to put a curtain over it because I knew the camera. But there's a crate or a bin full of DVDs of all my old DVDs are in there. Plus, I have a whole rack upstairs of Blu-rays and DVDs. Yeah, Tanya, I had to flip the DVD. How crazy is that? 2 sides the movie was on. Gator says, I'm getting up to your comments. Best female action flicks, Aliens, Terminator, Kill Bill. Okay, I agree. Can't argue with that, especially with Terminator. Terminator 2. Would you agree, Gator? Terminator 2 as the best Terminators or 1? And then after 2, it's shit, right? I just watched Terminator the other night. It was on one of the movie channels, like Hits or something. So I was watching it. Another one that I just keep on, even though I own it. Terminator 2, I mean, the chase scene. So when I was selling TVs back in the day, like in the early 90s, when big screens first came out and like laser discs, the 2 movies that we used to play to show like surround sound were Terminator 2 and Top Gun. And oh yeah, are you looking forward to Top Gun? Were you a fan? Gator, are you a fan of Top Gun? I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to it, I guess. I wasn't a huge Top Gun guy. Like, I don't even think I saw the movie till like 10 years after it was out. Like, I didn't watch it for a long time. It was one of those movies I didn't watch. But then I watched it, and I always think that when you watch a movie that was really, really popular like years later for the first time, it sort of takes the luster off of it. Not every movie's like that. If it stands the test of time like a Goodfellas would, but like Top Gun was like, oh, it's okay. That's kind of how I felt, but that's just me. Yeah, I do kind of want to see Maverick. I love the way they did the first trailer for it, so I was into that. And I do own Top Gun. I think I own the Blu-ray. I don't know. I buy Blu-rays and I forget that I even bought it. Because I see it in the store and it's like, oh, it's $10. All right. And I just buy it. I have Blu-rays in the wrapping because it was cheap. And I go, oh, I would love to own these. And then I never even watch it. Like I have tons. I have like horror movies. I think I was talking about this the other day because the box set of Friday the 13th is coming out. And I go, I think I own all of those. I think I bought like the Blu-ray and it has like every one. And I know I bought Saw, every one. I don't know why. It's still in the package. Never even watched it. I saw like the first like 2 Saw movies, I think. I didn't even watch them all, which is the reason why I bought it. I go, one of these days I'll get around to watching it. Yeah. See, here's the funny thing. I never owned a lot of VHSs. Like I just said, I owned Saturday Night Fever on VHS. I own Saturday Night Fever. I own Pulp Fiction. And I think I owned, you know what I owned on VHS? I swear to God. Breakin'. The movie, the breakdance movie Breakin'. I actually owned it on VHS. Because people don't remember that VHS was expensive to buy unless it was a monster movie. So when these big popular blockbuster movies come out, right? They were like, buy the VHS, $19.99. For like E.T. Because E.T. took forever to come on VHS. But if you wanted to watch like a normal movie on VHS that just like your average flick and you just wanted to own it, you couldn't own it. It cost a fortune. So I knew somebody who did work with MGM and was able to get me a copy of Breakin' when I was a kid. Otherwise, if you wanted to buy it, now where me and Gator grew up, we had Captain Video. And if I wanted to buy a movie from Captain Video, they'd have to order it. And to buy a VHS, it was like $60. $60 for a movie in 1985 to own on VHS. Unless it was some kind of blockbuster movie. Now they got DVDs, which they still sell. You go to Walmart, they're for fucking $5 to watch some movie. Or even Blu-rays that have like 4 movies on it. You know, you get the Van Damme collection. The Jean-Claude Van Damme collection that has like Bloodsport, Time Cop, and some shitty movie he did. Time Cop 2. He's not even in Time Cop 2. I don't think, right? Yeah, I like a lot of time travel movies. Gator, what do you say, time travel movies, who does it right? What's your favorite time travel movie? I'll tell you what mine is. Tell me yours first. Time travel. I was Breaking back in the day. I totally was. You remember where all the kids used to hang out in the lobby? Talking about high school. In our lobby in high school. Our high school had a lobby. The kids used to break dance in the lobby. That was when I was a freshman. So yeah, hundreds, if not thousands, of what, VHSs or Blu-rays? I got tons of Blu-rays. I got Blu-rays. I don't even open the package. In fact, you're talking about 2.5 Men? I got 2.5 Men. Season 3 or one. I have like 3 or 4 seasons on Blu-ray. I will agree with you. My favorite is Back to the Future. You're right, Gator. Back to the Future, I will say, is my all-time favorite time travel movie. But in the realm of time travel movies, who does it right? In other words, we all know that you can't really go back in time and change something because even in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, remember when future Bill and Ted come back and tell them, and they're like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? What is this? We don't know what they're talking about. And they go, oh, you'll know. Remember that? They even did it right. So my favorite that does it right, that I would say that actually does it right, I will say is 12 Monkeys. Tanya you still have all your VHS? Wow. You have anything to play them on? Terminator, yeah. Of course, Terminator. I always forget Terminator is, I guess it's a time travel movie. I kind of forget about that. Add a tape rewinder. Wow. I mean, I have VCRs. I have tons of tapes. I have VHS tapes because I worked in the business and I got tons of crap that I took home on VHS. Stuff that we used to, record at work. Music videos, half finished, stuff like that. Stuff that I, thought was cool, took home. Pilots of TV shows. I have tapes of that somewhere. I have tons of tapes. I have VHSs, but somewhere around my house. But I don't own a lot of VHS tape, mostly Blu-rays and DVDs. Yeah, well, first of all, you got to remember something too. VHS, at least DVD is 16:9 in terms of aspect ratio, and VHS was 4:3 and pan and scan, and you're not seeing the whole full frame and all that shit. Oh, you know what Mel Brooks, when I was a kid, I watched High Anxiety a lot because I always thought it was cool when you see him in the newspaper coming down the elevator. I always liked that part. So I liked a lot of High Anxiety, History of the World Part 1, which I actually saw in the theater when I was 11. And I had no idea what half the shit meant because I was 11. So anything when they talked about sex stuff, like when Gregory Hines' feather goes up because he has a heart on, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I was 11. I thought it was funny with the piss boy and all that, wait for the shake, that was funny. And there's other parts I thought were funny, but a lot of the shit I remember I didn't even get. Yeah, I would say that. Spaceballs, of course. You gotta love that. Young Frankenstein, I can't argue with you. Great movie. Great movie. Love it. You know what was on? I don't know why this came up on I think it was on my In Demand. It wasn't even on Netflix. I just have, I have Xfinity, and you go to In Demand or On Demand, and they show you some movies that you can watch for free. And so The Toy was a movie I could have watched today with Richard Pryor. And the only reason I mentioned The Toy is because you mentioned Mel Brooks, which made me think of Gene Wilder, which made me think of Stir Crazy, which made me think of Richard Pryor. See how my mind works? It's like 6 degrees of separation with Mel Brooks. But yeah, I love when they do a time travel movie right. And I always think that 12 Monkeys did it right because you can't go back. What about the new Bill and Ted? I think that's coming out soon too. I don't know if I'm really all that excited about it. I saw the trailer for it, and I mean, for the nostalgia of it, I guess. But even in the trailer, Keanu Reeves really didn't look like he wanted to do a fucking movie. At least in the trailer of what I saw, Alex Winter's all into it, and Keanu Reeves is like, fuck it, I'm John Wick now. Fuck Neo. I'm fucking John Wick. Fuck Ted. Though I mean, I want to see it. There's certain movies like that no matter what, no matter how bad the movie is, I'm gonna watch it. I gotta watch it. Yeah, The Toy was great. Toy was such a great flick. freaking Jackie Gleason. I mean, it was Jackie Gleason. By the way, you talked about Regis Philbin. Wasn't Regis's dad, was he the director or the producer of Honeymooners? One of those two. Yeah, see? Video on demand. That's what I thought. I thought I saw that it was going on video on demand, Bill and Ted. And yeah, it looks fucking horrible from what I saw. Well, I mean, the last one sucked too. When they're dead, I hardly even remember that. The first one was great. Other than that, I don't fucking remember what happened in the second one. Who gives a shit? I have that on Blu-ray. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, you're right. Well, you're right. If Bill and Ted 3 was that good, they would have held it, or they would have done something with it. And you're right, because let me tell you something about the movie business, for those of you who don't know. They know when a movie's going to fucking suck. They do testings. That's what the test screening is for. And believe me, they know from the test screening how well a movie is going to do. And they know, they figure out the numbers. They know how much money is going to be made at the box office about. They know how much money they can get overseas. They know how much money they can get once it goes to the home market, video on demand, fucking red box, all that shit. They know. So as long as they can recoup and they don't lose anything, they're good. But trust me, they fucking know when a movie sucks. They always know. Oh, yeah, you're right. Forgot. No George Carlin. You're right about that. Forgot about that. No George Carlin. Wasn't he on George Carlin first episode of SNL, right? Was George Carlin did stand up? Was it the first episode? Or one of the beginning episodes? George Carlin, one of the greatest comedians ever of all time. He's right up there. I would say he's in my top 5. I would say my number one of all time in the comedy realm has to be, hands down, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy. Then I will say number 2, I will go with Dave Chappelle. After what I see Chappelle do in the last couple specials. And also, when I was in Florida a month ago, as COVID fucking ramped up, I think it was it Comedy Central? They were showing Chappelle Show Marathon, and I watched I watched like 4 hours of Chappelle Show, and I was like, holy fuck, this show was so fucking good. Forgot. Yeah. Oh, Carlin's up there, man. But I say Eddie Murphy, I say Chappelle. I could put Carlin around 3. I got to really think about comedians and who made an impact on me. I mean, I could think of Robin Williams was fucking all over the place because he was pretty much high on coke half the time. But Bill Burr. Oh, yeah, I like the other guy. What's his name? Bert. What the fuck? The guy who takes his shirt off all the time? The guy who does the whole Russian mafia thing? I love him. He's fucking great. Bill Burr, though, was great, too. I watched his last special. I like Bill Burr. Eddie Murphy was awesome in a lot of shit, in a lot of his movies, but then he started doing shit, too. I mean, the 80s was great for Eddie Murphy. That's why, I mean, it doesn't matter that he did a bunch of crap because he always got paid and now he makes $20 million a movie no matter what. I mean, I'm sure Eddie doesn't want you to bring up fucking Pluto Nash, but Trading Places and 48 Hours are fucking classics. And then Beverly Hills Cop. I heard that, there's another one of those coming out, right? Beverly Hills Cop. I'm not really that, I can't say I really like Joe Rogan that much. Gotta be honest. Not for me. I've watched his podcast a few times. But when I watched his stand-up, I thought he was okay. I think there's a lot better for me. I mean, that's, my opinion. It's not horrible. I mean, his podcast, for what did he get? 100 million on fucking Spotify through him, 100 mil for his podcast. So the guy doing something right. Steve Martin, oh yeah, as comedy albums. You're right. I remember my parents listening to that. And I listened to, Bert Kreischer, the Russian mafia guy. Love that guy. Coming to America 2, another one of those that I'm not sure about yet, but I'll have to go watch it. Coming to America, classic. We talk about classic Eddie Murphy, of course, like I said, 48 Hours, Trading Places, Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America, Nutty Professor. I like the first one more than the other ones. Even I like Dr. Dolittle when he was in that. But then he had a bunch of shit movies too. But, what was the one? Vampire in Brooklyn? Fuck was that? I mean, that's, But then he did Shrek and he did other stuff and, he's got to move. Brogan. California's, COVID's fucking running rampant. And all the other crap that's going on. So you gotta move. I don't blame the guy. But that's the other thing with other movies that I never get tired of Eddie Murphy. I watched Delirious. That was Eddie Murphy's first stand-up on HBO back in the day. I watched it like a few months ago. And I'm like, holy shit. The stuff that he says I guess you can't say anymore, but you can't, comedians can. Fuck, Chappelle says anything, which is what I loved about him. But some of the stuff that you forget, it was funny because he was talking about like AIDS in Delirious. When Eddie Murphy talks about AIDS and he's like, how he's afraid of gay people. He goes, I'm afraid of homosexuals. Then he goes, because when he does a whole bit about your girlfriend go hang out with a gay friend and give a kiss and go home and get that AIDS on her lips. And it's like, what? That was in 1983? That's what our view of AIDS was. Like, you could just get AIDS, from kissing somebody who had AIDS. Remember that? And I was watching, I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that stuff. Yeah, Delirious is great. That's why Eddie came out in the red leather. And then when he did Raw, he had the purple leather. And if you watch you got to go to YouTube and watch Eddie Murphy on Johnny Carson. And he has this crazy leather outfit on. It's like the outfit, I think it's the leather outfit that the guy was wearing in Beverly Hills Cop is the outfit. Remember when Eddie, when he walked by those people in Beverly Hills Cop, remember he first comes from Detroit to LA and they're wearing a crazy leather outfit? I think that's the outfit Eddie was wearing on the Johnny Carson show. And Eddie's just cool as shit. Johnny asked him to do an impression and Eddie's like, nah. Eddie just goes, nah. Eddie was just cool. He was 23 years old, 24. And he was the man back then. Yeah, Chappelle about the Juicy Smollett. That was why, that is part of the reason why I put Chappelle as my number 2. Because that Juicy Smollett bit that Chappelle did is fucking genius. Genius. When he just goes, that young Frenchman, Juicy Smollett. And everybody, you see everybody, me even at home, your brain, Juicy Smollett, and you think about spelling it and what he said, and then you're like, oh shit, genius. Yeah, I gotta say, Eddie was he didn't do shit on the SNL reunion. I mean, he just went up there and said thank you. I mean, he didn't really do anything. And, you know, he saved SNL. And then I thought when he hosted last year, I thought it was okay. I thought it was like, all right. We got to see classic Eddie. I mean, we got to see Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. We got to see Gumby. We got to see Buckwheat. But I remember, I mean, I got to rewatch it, but I do remember feeling a little disappointed. I forget something happened. There was something on it that I didn't like. I think there could have been more. That's what I remember about it. I mean, it was all right. But yeah, I remember him on the reunion, and he didn't do anything. Well, he was like, fuck it. I'm just going to say thank you and good night. And that was it. That's all he did. No, I've not watched Afterlife. I keep hearing about it. And that's another one I got to throw on the list. Afterlife. Yeah, that's one of those I gotta get on there. I watched what's it called? The fuck's the name of that? I watched Dead to Me. It's all right. I watched, like I said, that In the Dark. I watched On My Block. I think that's what it's called. With those kids. Like 3 seasons of that. Watched that. I watched Orange is the New Black, but that's done. Dead to Me, one more season 3. That'll be it for that. I just watched, like I said, Little Fires Everywhere. It's Reese Witherspoon basically playing the same character as Big Little Lies. Pretty much. I mean, she's good in it. If you haven't watched Little Fires Everywhere, I thought it was all right. You know, it's pretty good. That's what I give it. I give it a pretty good. It was watchable, at least for me. I tried to watch that other one, The Warrior Nun. Have you watched that? The Warrior Nun? A little slow, man. A little slow. Like you say, like chick action. Like I don't mind chick action, but I need to see some motherfucking action. And it was a little slow for me. Yeah, I do want to see an Eddie stand-up special because he's long overdue. And he talks about, with Jerry in Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, he does talk about it. He talks about getting up there and doing stand-up and how much it's going to be harder for him because you got to go to the club and in this day and age with the cameras and the cell phones and all that shit, how he's going to do it. I love how he talked about how much of a fuckwad Cosby was to him because Cosby saw how much better Eddie was than he was. And how Cosby was such a fucking dick to Eddie when he realized he was better. And then he became a big movie star, you know, the movie star that Cosby never was. Fucking Ghost Dad. I mean, I can't even name another Bill Cosby movie besides Ghost Dad. It could be, you're right, it could be a disaster in Eddie's stand-up if the material isn't there. But I would think he's going to work it out. I don't think he's going to go in dry. I don't know. I mean, when you haven't done it for so long, who knows what'll happen? I'm hoping it'll be old Eddie. I'm hoping. But when you don't do it, like a guy like Jerry, he has to do stand-up. Jerry can't not do stand-up. And did you watch that Jerry special when he shows that every fucking thing he ever wrote, all his bits are written down on that yellow legal pad and he has them all? And he goes and he does some of his like early material and he says, I'll never do it again. And he goes back and does it. I mean, you're talking about material that's like fucking 40 years old, 30 something years old. So a guy like Jerry, Eddie was like, fuck it, I'm a movie star now. Fuck stand-up, I'm going to do movies. So I hope it's good, but you're right, it could be a disaster. Yeah, The Boys is awesome. I want a second season of The Boys. You're right. I want to see what happens with that little baby. I love The Boys, especially that scene. And if you haven't seen The Boys, spoiler alert, because I'm going to talk about it, when the fucking guy runs right through the chick in the slow-mo of the blood. I mean, it's so one of those things where you see it, I think it's in the trailer, but still you're like, holy fuck. It's like what happens if superheroes were real and the fucking carnage and the fallout that would happen from superheroes being real. I love it. It's great. No, you're right. You're right. Comics that Jerry always worked clean, and he said he's not dirty because he just doesn't, it's just not him. And I have no problem with comics that work clean. I don't like comics that curse for the sake of cursing. Like, I don't like Cat Williams. Like when Eddie Murphy, remember when Eddie, I think it was in Raw when he talks about Bill Cosby and he says, Bill called him up and said, you can't say filth and fucking filth and fucking, and Eddie goes, what do you think I just go up there and say, fuck you, good night? He's like, I can't do that. There's got to be some jokes. To me, all Cat Williams does is curse. Like that's most of his act is cursing. And like, it wouldn't be funny if he didn't curse. So I look at that and I go, this guy's not funny. I don't like Cat Williams. I just don't think he's funny. And it's because he curses. And if I think like Eddie could work clean if he wanted to. I think, yeah, Eddie just talks the way he talks. But if Eddie Murphy wanted to work clean, if Chappelle wanted to work clean, they'd still be funny. Oh, I can't wait. Season 2, September. Oh, I can't wait. Mom, you talking about the TV show Mom? With, what's her face in it? That girl, the blonde? Mom? I watch Mom because I watch all fucking reruns. Oh, and by the way, if you want reruns, there's this channel. If you have a Roku, there's this app called Stir on Roku. And Stir is weird. So this app, you go to the guide. It's not just like one channel or like in demand. It's like it's Stir, and it's like basically channels, but there's TV shows, and that's the whole channel. Like you could watch like there was, and I haven't gone to it in a couple of weeks, so I don't know if they switch that shit out. Yeah, Anna Faris on Mom. I don't know if they switch it out on Stir, but like there was like a Lucy channel, the Lucy Show channel. And it's not I Love Lucy, it's the Lucy Show, the show she did after I Love Lucy. And that's all they show on that channel. So I don't know if they switch channels. Like I got to go to it to see, but there are other channels. Like there's another channel, I think it's called not Magnum. Is it Magnum? Some other channel, they show Chips, they show Magnum PI, they show like a bunch of 80 shows. And they have other channels too. So I watch this Stir. Oh, What's Happening is a classic. No Roger, no rerun, no rent. I even watch What's Happening Now when it's on. I watch, what's it called? That's on Antenna TV, I think, once in a blue moon. Like Antenna TV, I think it has like Gimme a Break is on. And then What's Happening Now is on. But What's Happening, I watch all those shows if I can catch them. Love it. Those are so classic, man. The writing in those shows, and this is like in the 70s. And when they try to like they can't remake that. Could you imagine they try to make What's Happening over? Remember when they tried to make like, they tried to do an updated version of All in the Family? Oh, by the way, Gator, what'd you think of the All in the Family Good Times live performances. What'd you think about that? Did you like it? Because I'll tell you what I think. I didn't like it. No, I shouldn't say I didn't like it. I didn't like Woody Harrelson as Archie Bunker. I just didn't like it. I had no problem with Marissa Tomei, though she should have ran a little faster because Edith was always running, and the running was kind of weird, though I kind of am thinking they did that on purpose to make it campy. But I wasn't really happy with Woody Harrelson as Archie Bunker. I just thought he was doing an Archie Bunker impression. I didn't like it. I thought that they should have got Rob Reiner to play Archie Bunker. That would have been fucking classic. I would have loved it. But there could have been definitely a better person than Woody Harrelson. That's just my take. Yeah, you're right. Now, but here's the question, Gator. You're talking about the Tuesday night lineup. You're right. 8 o'clock on Channel 7, Happy Days. 8:30, Laverne and Shirley. 9, Three's Company. 10 o'clock, Heart to Heart. What was on at 9:30? That's my question. What was on at 9:30? What did you watch between Three's Company ended and Heart to Heart started at 10? What was the 9:30 show? I can never remember what was the 9:30 time slot. Like, what was the show? Full House. Yeah. I watched, Tanya, I watched the first few episodes of Fuller House because, of course, I was curious to see what they were going to do. And I watched maybe the first 3 or 4 of season 1, and that was it. But you know what? Good for them to get paid to play the same characters they fucking played like 30 years ago. And that's what I say for all those like reboot shows when they had the, like I watched the, when they did the 90210 reboot or reimagining or whatever it was when they were playing sort of pseudo, they were playing themselves, playing the characters kind of thing where people didn't get it. I actually thought it was pretty good. I actually liked that they did that. And they didn't try to be like, it's 90210 and they're playing the same characters today. Fuck that. I don't like to see that shit. I like what they did with that. It was interesting to me. It was a little different. Mel Gibson as Archie. That would have been classic. That would have been great. Could you imagine? Mel Gibson as Archie. That would have been good. I could live with that. I can live with that. Taxi reboot or just Taxi the show? I wouldn't mind seeing, I mean, Taxi's classic. It's another one of the shows that I watch when it's on is Taxi. How could you not watch Taxi? Reverend Jim. Fucking best part of that show. And Louis, of course, Andy Kaufman, who was a fucking nut, man. Another one of those geniuses. Watch Andy Kaufman when on Saturday Night Live when he sings fucking Mighty Mouse. He just puts a record on and sings Mighty Mouse. It's great. I mean, that guy was another genius. So ahead of his time. Andy Kaufman. I mean, they still think the guy's alive somewhere. They still think that the whole cancer thing was a big joke. And one day Andy Kaufman's going to pop up. Oh, 9:30 was Taxi. You might be right. You might be right that 9:30 was Taxi. But I think that time slot changed a lot. Especially after like Laverne and Shirley got canceled. Happy Days lasted 10 years into the 80s. Three's Company went off the, what it became, Three's Company became what? Three's a Crowd? when Jack got married, and it was Jack and his new wife and her father, right? It was Three's a Crowd. I still watch Three's Company in reruns all the time. Every show, same fucking premise, some sort of mix-up with some sexual innuendos. The best part is, oh, God forbid a guy lives with two women. I mean, oh my goodness, you know. And the funny thing is, that was like a big deal in the 70s. I mean, it must have meant they were doing it if they're living together. That's every guy that would meet Jack. Wow, you're lucky, man. Like, you're a lucky guy. Got two chicks. That was every episode of Three's Company. But I still watch it every time. I watch Taxi every time. I watch freaking The Golden Girls every time it's on. Every time. They got Golden Girls marathons on Lifetime. I watch it. Hey, good show's a good show. So I still watch it. I watch Big Bang Theory still when it's on, because it's always on. Like we're talking about with 2.5 Men. I actually watched 2.5 Men and, well, 2.5 Men I started watching while it was still on the air. I did start watching it before Charlie Sheen left. But King of Queens, I didn't even watch that show until it was in reruns. I never watched it. Yeah, you're right. The old Johnny Carson when he's smoking at the desk. And on that Stir TV, they do show old episodes of The Tonight Show. They show like the whole episode. So you got Doc and Ed McMahon, and yeah, they show like the whole thing. But you could go on YouTube and watch that stuff too. But yeah, I watched the old episodes. I mean, the best is when you watch like when the old comedian, I mean, like Don Rickles, when he's on. I mean, it's Don Rickles. I mean, there'll never be another Don Rickles. You can't. A lot of people are afraid to do that kind of comedy. Obviously, Chappelle's not. I mean, when Chappelle was talking about Michael Jackson and those kids and going, hey, so what? Even if it's true, it was Michael Jackson. I mean, Chappelle's not afraid of shit. But a lot of comedians, they don't want to do that, man. They got to be politically correct. And it's killing comedy. People got to understand that you need to laugh. I mean, we make fun of each other. People got to lighten up and not take things so personally. It's comedy, Christ's sake. Yeah, Bazinga, Big Bang. Another show that's on 20 times a day. On Channel 5 in New York, Channel 9, PBS. Marathon, like on Saturdays, Sundays. I've seen like, once in a while, I think I've seen just about every episode. Once in a while, there's an episode on there that I never saw. But I've seen pretty much most of the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, John Ritter, I would say very underrated as a TV actor. People forget the physical comedy that he did. And the way that you know how great he really was is if you remember, there is that sort of best of Three's Company episode. They do the retrospective hosted by Lucille Ball. And you talk about the queen of physical comedy. Lucille Ball hosted the show. And I always thought Lucy was a genius. And with Desi, I know Gator knows this, but for the other people that don't, that Desi Arnaz is the one that sitcoms and the filming and the way they shoot the 3 cameras was created by Desi Arnaz. And that's how they shot I Love Lucy, which became the staple of how to shoot a sitcom, the 3-camera shoot. And Desi created that, for those of you who don't know. Thought I'd bring up that little tidbit. Oh, of course Wade and James didn't like it, what Chappelle had to say. And I'll have to look up what's going on with those two, with their little lawsuit, which is going to fucking go nowhere. trying to sue the Michael Jackson estate, douchebags. Yeah, they didn't like what Chappelle had to say, and Wade, fuck Wade. Yeah, Honeymooners, another one that I watch a lot. What's the deal with the Honeymooners, Gator? Because sometimes I see it and it's like shitty, old grainy film, and other times it looks like it was on video. Did they video it at the end? Because I was watching some episode the other day. I think it was yesterday. Might have been last night. I was watching an episode of The Honeymooners when Ralph gets the driving award, and it looked like he was on video. Is that what they did toward the end? Yeah, of course Desi wanted to be taught with the heel. Eddie Murphy doing Desi Arnaz. But yeah, The Honeymooners is another one that I always watch. The other thing that they've done too, and I know this from the work that I did, that Lucy Arnaz, the daughter, had a lot of the scenes, as much as they possibly could, cut out of Lucy and Desi smoking. So if there's any scenes where they smoke and they can cut it out, like obviously there's some that they can't because of the dialogue, but I know she tried to cut out them smoking. Especially because Lucy, I mean, if you listen to that, I mean, Lucy had the dumb of like the Simpsons voice from smoking so much. And Desi, I mean, I remember Desi on Saturday Night Live, like in the 70s. Still had the hair, all gray. And they were worn, you know, I mean, they must have a fortune from that show. Oh, is that what that is? The lost episodes? Isn't it crazy that they lost stuff like that, or some shows that didn't they get rid of all of Johnny's, like not all of them obviously, but like the Tonight shows, like they recorded over the Tonight shows. Like some dipshit at NBC was like, hey, we gotta reuse the tapes, and they recorded over the Tonight Show. Wasn't that what they did, right? It was the Tonight Show that they recorded over. So sometimes it's hard to find. There's a lot of the Tonight shows that we'll never ever see again because they recorded over them. Burt Reynolds, he dated Lucy Arnaz. Remember Desi Arnaz Jr.? Yeah, Desi Arnaz Jr. was a big star too. Remember, he was on the Brady Bunch. He was like Marsha's like crush on the Brady Bunch. Desi Arnaz Jr. Oh, along with remember when and then Davy Jones. Yeah, 2-inch tape, man. That's right. In the 60s when this video came out, 2-inch tape. Those machines were like the size of like a fucking car. Those 2-inch tape machines. They were monsters. The 2-inch, I tell you right now, for those of you who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, videotape, professional level. So VHS was 1/2 inch, meaning the width of the tape, right? Then came 1 inch, which was professional grade for many years, 1 inch on the reels. But before 1 inch was 2-inch, 2-inch tape machines, take your washer and dryer and stick them together, and that was the size of the machine. I'm not even kidding you. And the tape was 2 inches thick. You had to crank the machine up. The thing was giant. Those 2-inch tape machines. And now everything's digital, man. Gator, you know, you could buy a freaking Digibeta on eBay for like $300. Machine was like 30 grand 20 years ago or more. All the outdated formats that no one will ever use. You could probably freaking, there's probably all those dub houses and edit houses that couldn't give away their 1-inch machines. They keep one or two around just in case they got to do a transfer. Yeah, Thursday night. You're right. Friends, Seinfeld, Cheers, ER. Yeah, the Thursday night lineup of must-see TV. And then ABC had a counter with their Friday night lineup. Remember that? The Friday night with the Hogan family and Family Matters. That was the TGIF Friday night lineup on ABC. You need a Digibeta, go buy one, dude. They're on fucking eBay for like $300. I got Digibeta tapes too. I put, matter of fact, what did I put on Digi? I put on Betacam, I put some of the videos that I did in college. And then on Digi, I put some home movies that I had transferred from film right to Digibeta. The best way ever. We had a freaking projector that we could put right into the patch bay, right into the Digibeta. So I had Digibeta with home movies on it. But yeah, you could buy one for like $300, depending on what you want in it. I mean, I can't imagine it costing any more than that because it's SD and nobody wants SD anymore. So you'll be able to get a Digibeta for cheap. I think even HD Cam and HD Cam SR are like pretty cheap now. Yeah, you're right. $700 for shipping. You're so right. The machine's $300 and they charge you up the ass for shipping. Hey, you know what? I bought on eBay like 10 years ago or more. No, it had to be more than 10 years ago. Probably like 12 years ago. I bought a prosumer VHS, Super VHS machine. Like a Super VHS edit deck machine, like a pro one, in 2008. So the machine came out in 94 for $3,000 when it was brand new. I bought it on eBay in 2008 for $80. Still have it. But the problem, I used it for some stuff. I used it because I had Super VHS tapes and no way to play them. But what happened, what I realized was, this is kind of funny. When I was playing old VHSs and I needed to transfer them digitally, that the Super VHS machine would try so hard to compensate for the tape that it was throwing video hits left and right. Whereas my regular, like, old Sony VHS deck wasn't. So I ended up using my normal VHS machine. Then the brand new $3,000 Super VHS deck. These old formats that we used to use. That's what I've always said. And I know we talked about this years ago, and I said to you, Gator, about how if we would have had, back in the day, the editing capabilities that we have now, the things that we would have been doing back then. I mean, the fact that I could buy, and then I not even buy, forget buy, for free, I can, for free, download an editing program. For free. With effects. For free. That I would have killed to have in 1989. Yep, SVHS for freaking $80. Pro. I mean, they did make some consumer SVHS machines. Not a lot though, but I kind of remember them. But yeah, I bought it on. I needed a Super VHS deck because I had some Super VHS tapes, and I was like, I saw this deck. It was $80. I was like, all right, can't beat that. $80. It still works. It's not hooked up, but it still works. I mean, I still have my old Power Mac. It's a Power PC. It's not even Intel. So I could still edit with it. I mean, I still got Final Cut in that thing. I still got my drives. Still got my FireWire cables. Which is how I did some videos that I just put out from when I was in college that people were begging me for. Look at that. Oh man, the Davy and Goliath, man. If anybody if you're watching, if you never saw Davy and Goliath, it was a Sunday morning church show, cartoon. That Gator overdubbed. Let's just say the church wasn't thrilled, I guess, and took them down from YouTube. Let's just say the overdubs are classic. It's great. I still remember that. I mean, and I'm talking about, I remember this going back, oh my God, how many years? 30 something years that I remember that from. And yeah, the First Blood. I remember your First Blood and your Terminator that you did. I remember that. That was great. Were you able to put those on YouTube? Because you did those. I mean, those are yours. You shot them yourself. But those were the days, man. Editing the camera. I mean, when I started doing audio originally, my audio stuff that I did, I was audio editing on a double cassette deck in 1985, 84. To me, I was doing a remix, but I was doing double cassette deck. Back and forth, back and forth. I called it doing a remix. I didn't know I was editing audio. Now that I can do it on freaking Adobe Audition or on Audacity and see the wave and be so precise. Yeah, I'll give you my email. I'll send it to you. Because I got to see that. I want to watch Davey. It's great. Yeah. They take that shit down quick, man. YouTube is a lot better now when it comes to music. I guess because now they pay BMI and ASCAP for music stuff. Facebook does not. So if I try to play music on Facebook when I've gone live, they cut that shit right out. I got cut off a few times because of music on Facebook, but on YouTube, they give credit to the musicians if they're published, and they have the publishing, they'll give credit and they send them a couple of pennies. That I know for sure. Because my song that I use as the opener, this song here. So this is actually my stepbrother's song. The group is The Dents. And if you look at my other YouTube videos, you'll see The Dents listed because they have the publishing listed. So I talked to him about it. He goes, oh yeah, that was one of the girls in the band. Husband or ex-husband, he makes sure they get all their shit. And they their music's actually in TV shows, like in the background. He told me. He doesn't even know like what shows they're on. But yeah, you'll hear the Dents in background of TV shows. But yeah, they're like a pop punk group, but that's the music that I use. It's my stepbrother's song. He's the guitarist. This is him in the beginning. Plays lead. And then pop punk, The Dents. And they got a like chick singer, so that's cool. So yeah, that's The Dents. What else do I have? I have sound effects. I don't remember what's here. Let me check. So when I say something cool, I can go applause. Do you believe? Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I got this one. This is the game show music. Tell them what they win, Johnny. Well, you win a 1974 Corvette with AM/FM stereo, air conditioning, blah, blah, blah. It's the game show music. Then I got this one. Here, tell me what this music is from. Ready? Tell me what that was from. You'll love that. Yeah, they got a little bit of Runaways because they're like pop punk. So like I said, they got the girl. They switched. There's two girls in the band. My brother plays guitar. They got a drummer, and then they got the girl plays bass, sings lead, and the girl plays rhythm guitar, sings lead. They kind of switch off. But they've been around a while now. They're actually coming out with a new record soon. They put out albums. I mean, he's big in the music scene over up in Boston. They got a big punk scene, and they're putting out, I think, an EP soon. Or I know they were recording some new music. These bands, they kind of come and go. Like, they all know each other up there in that scene, and they all play in different bands with each other, and they might stop for like 5 years and then start again, not for any reason. Not like they break up because there's a big blow up in the band. They just sort of take it as far as they can, and then they just stop doing it. So they stopped playing together for a bunch of years, and now they're back at it. Dense playing. You're right, Brady Bunch. That was the Brady Bunch. Yeah, Facebook will do that, Tanya. They mute music, and that you can't. Anything that's popular, commercial, they will mute unless you have a good reason to use it. And sometimes you have to fight. And I mean, YouTube used to do it too a long time ago. I had a fight once. I did a video for gymnastics. My niece is a gymnast, and I did this gymnastic video for the gym. And I used at the time, this was in 2008, I used the song 4 Minutes by Madonna and Justin Timberlake. And like it got flagged on YouTube. And they like say like, oh, do you have the copyright, or do you think this was by error that you can use it? And I actually disputed it. And what I said in the dispute was, I said, first of all, it's not even the whole song. I said, first, it's not the whole song. Second, it's the instrumental. Third, I don't think Madonna is going to have a problem with little girls doing gymnastics to her music. And I guess Warner Brothers was like, okay, because they left it alone. So I fought. And I fought recently on Facebook too for something and that I put out there. I did these videos that I did like in college. I had all my college friends begging me for years to put out these videos that I did back in college. Similar, of course, Gator knows, similar to the senior videos that we did. And I did it in college, and they were begging me, so I put them out, and they got flagged on Facebook. And I just said, it's for educational purposes. I'm not making any money off of it. And they went, all right. It got accepted. Because you have to go through a process. And it got accepted. It actually said, you've been accepted, and your reasoning is okay with them, with whoever the copyright holders were for the music that got flagged. Because I used like, I don't know, 6, 7 different songs. And they just went, all right, fine. They didn't care. I don't even get why they flagged this shit, because in my mind, it's bringing this music attention, especially the older stuff. Like, why not? Why not use it? Why not let it be used? Because people are here and they go, oh, maybe that will make me go and want to buy that music. If I'm hearing an old Michael Jackson song that I haven't heard, maybe I'm going to look up the album that it came from and buy it, download it, whatever I can do, especially 3T. Would you use this? What song did you use? The 3T song with Michael in it? The one that he sings with them? The one that they try to say that that when they did the single album cover that Michael was molesting his nephews because he had like shirts off and shit. It was so stupid. I know he did that song with them, and that's a good song. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it, but I know I have it somewhere, and I know I've watched that video, and it's good. Yeah, sometimes you gotta fight Facebook, and it's not even so much a fight. You just have to dispute it. What do you have to lose? That's what I said. It's educational, not for profit. That's it. And then see what happens. I did it. I'm like, I got nothing to lose, so I might as well. Is that the name of it? I Need You? I don't think you'll get flagged for that, Gator, because you're doing a review and you're allowed to do reviews on things. It's opinion, and you can do a review. I think that's would fall under fair use because you're doing a movie review and you're using the clips, I believe. Just like I could play clips of music and talk about the music, and it's fair use because I'm doing a review of it. So I think you'd be okay because of the review aspect of what you're doing. That would fall under fair use. And the other thing too that people don't realize is the pictures. You put a picture on a website, supposed to have permission to use that picture. But here's what I found out. If you go to Wikipedia, and if you ever put in anybody's name, right, on Wikipedia. So here, I'll show you what I have up here. Wait, let me show you this because I have up from before on the screen. We looked up John Saxon, right? So let me show you this. I gotta switch to OBS. Okay. So look, check this out. So here's John Saxon's Wikipedia page, right? So you see that picture of him? That's John Saxon in 1958, right? If I right click on the pic, I can open the image. I think is it open or add? There was a right click or double click. I right clicked on it, you can see, but yeah, well, there's the whole picture. See? John Saxon publicity photo. Anything that's on Wikipedia, you could use because this is a publicity photo. It was meant for publicity. I don't know what this does. See, here's more pictures. So these are all publicity photos of John Saxon that are on Wikipedia that you could use. That's him in 2014. So you can use all these. If you wanted to. That's how it works. Anything you want to use, you can use. I'm going to blow this up. Let's see. Zoom in. Good old John Saxon. There he is. So that's all the pictures that are up there. Yeah. But yeah, so you could use anything. I'm going to go back to the cam. And I will put that down. There we go. Yeah, so you can use anything. Yeah, but with the next review, there you go. I want to see the review of a review of another review of your review. And we'll see if the time-space continuum is not affected by the review of the review of the review. And then I'll review that review. And then we'll have another review of the review. Maybe we'll review this. See if we can do reviews. That's how you do it. Now, Tanya, don't worry. You're not going to get in trouble. They won't get you in trouble. They'll just knock you off. They're not going to, bill you money or anything. Just say that you're using it for educational purposes. That's what I say. And they go, okay, that's it. Especially a 3T song. I mean, honestly, 3T should be lucky you're using their song. Who's playing 3T? Let's be honest. So that's what they should do. That's what they should just let you play it. That's what I mean. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I could play sound on this stream because I was getting feedback, and they should just let you play it. See that? I turned up myself, and I don't know why that's happening. I think it's because I'm streaming. I think it's playing the audio from the stream that I'm watching. I think that's why it's doing it. If I mute this, yeah, there you go. So now I don't hear it. So now I can play Gator's reviews on my show from the same computer. And I don't have to, I won't hear that feedback. I just muted myself. Because I'm actually watching on my screen, what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the YouTube studio. And I guess that audio is coming through. That's how I can see your comments. Otherwise, I couldn't see your comments. And then once in a while, I go back to OBS. I got two screens here too. I got a big screen over here. You can't see it. Where the camera is up there. There's another screen. That's how I get the John Saxons. If I go to YouTube and I could, oh yeah, look, I put up Gator stuff. Let me see. Let's see what I got here for you. Yeah, here it is. You can go to the Gator McCluskey YouTube page. You got the subscribers getting up there. Subscribe to Gator. Here's the Palm Springs review. The Burt Reynolds story. Chapter 3, Chapter 2, Summer Movies 2020. Let me go down. What you got? Chapter 1, The Extraction review. I watched that. I like that you did Young Frankenstein. Ad Astra, I did not see. Tiger King. You know, I didn't watch the Tiger King. I only watched like the first episode. Though I should watch that. I did see The Way Back, and I did agree with your review about it. But here's the Palm Springs review. Should we play the Palm Springs review? Let me go back here. Hold on a second. What do you think? I'll play the Palm Springs review. And let me get it up. Pull it up here for you. I gotta do a little this and that to get it going.
Hey friends, how are you? I hope you're healthy and you're happy and you're doing well. You know, I've been checking out all these great quarantine band videos lately, and it's such a great way for your favorite musicians to get together without getting the COVID, right? And this led me to believe I had the greatest idea ever for this channel. So, I can't go to the movies with my friends, but what I can do is I can get together with them in those 4-box thingies, right? And we could talk about a movie we just saw. It's called a group review, and it's just like what the bands are doing with their music. So without further ado, check this out. This is the Quarantine Group Review. Hey, it's Gator McCluskey. What's up, guys? We're going to review Palm Springs, and Palm Springs is a new movie on Hulu. And yeah, I mean, guys, you're talking too much at the same time. What are you doing? We can't all talk at the same time. What's going on? Oh, you're talking. Nobody understands what I'm saying, but we're trying to review Palm Springs. This is awesome, though. We got to talk about Palm Springs. I don't know what's going on, but everybody's talking at the same time. This really sucks. It's not what I intended. What's going on? Oh, that was a bit of a disaster. I don't think that worked. Palm Springs, starring Andy Samberg, Kristen Milioti, and J.K. Simmons. Directed by Max Barbakow.
It's gonna be a beautiful wedding.
The film centers around a wedding in Palm Springs.
I don't think that we met. I'm Sarah.
Niles.
Niles, played by Andy Samberg, is stuck in a Groundhog Day type time loop and is forced to relive the same day over and over. I mean, this doesn't sound too original, but the script, written by Andy Sierra, actually takes a few unique turns and presents the concept with its own spin that makes it feel a little bit less of a copy of that Bill Murray classic than I thought this was going to be.
There's a bomb in the cake. Don't worry, I used to be a bomb guy. Stand back!
I love Andy Samberg.
Say hi to your mother for me, all right?
When I first saw him on Saturday Night Live,
Say hi to your mother for me.
he reminded me a little of Jim Carrey on In Living Color, a real standout. Now, Samberg got his start on Saturday Night Live in 2005 and really exploded with his classic Justin Timberlake music video, Dick in a Box.
That's the way you do it. It's like in a box.
He went on to create many classic characters on the show and became the Adam Sandler of his generation. His music video parodies always stole the show.
Hands in the air and say hell yeah. Come on. Captain Jack. What? Johnny Depp.
And during the years he was on SNL, in my view, there really hasn't been a male performer on the show that's risen to his level of success since 2012.
I agree.
Are you okay?
Samberg's first big movie to come out of the SNL fame was Hot Rod. This is one of my favorite comedies of all time, and I must stress, it's infantile humor. The type of humor when your wife or girlfriend looks at you with that disgust while you have snot running down your face from laughing so hard.
Are you asking me out?
Oh, Kathy.
Hot Rod is a Samberg masterpiece, similar to Billy Madison for Adam Sandler.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
It's an all-time classic to me, and I've seen it dozens of times.
Shit!
Look what's happening to him. Unfortunately, unlike Adam Sandler, Samberg really hasn't hit with another film worth mentioning. His run on the TV show Brooklyn Nine-Nine has been very good, and that's a quality series.
2, 3, 4.
I'm actually watching on the other computer so I can see how my stream looks.
But it hasn't given him any room to stretch.
I'll let you go.
What is going on?
Let your review play.
Guess you followed me. It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about.
Yeah.
With Palm Springs, Samberg starts off doing his thing, acting like a goofball, making faces, stealing scenes, but at a certain point in the film, you can see Andy has the chops to perform as a dramatic actor.
I have no interest in this. Emptiness. You know, the who, what, why of your past. You got here, that's all that matters.
But if you really want to know someone deeper, it does matter.
Once he meets Sarah, played by Kristen Milioti, best known for How I Met Your Mother, the film takes off in a direction of its own, separating it from Groundhog Day. Kristen does a nice job here, and their relationship is kind of what makes the film work.
You wear underwear under your bathing suit?
Yeah, doesn't everybody?
The great J.K. Simmons plays the heavy in this flick, and most of you may recognize him from his very entertaining Farmers Insurance commercials.
At Farmers Insurance, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
But Simmons is actually an award-winning actor.
If you're lucky enough to have a parent or two alive on this planet, call them. Don't text, don't email. Call them on the phone. Tell them you love them and thank them and listen to them. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
If you haven't seen his performance in Whiplash, you're missing one of the greatest supporting roles in film history.
That guy is such an asshole.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Start counting.
5, 6, 7.
In 4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Now, Was I rushing or was I dragging?
Was he Russian or was he German?
The goddamn Germans got nothing to do with it!
You are a worthless, friendless, faggot-lipped little piece of shit whose mommy left daddy when she figured out he wasn't Eugene O'Neill, and who is now weeping and slobbering all over my drum set like a fucking 9-year-old girl.
Palm Springs is basically a standard rom-com.
Rom-com definition. A chick flick with a romantic plot interspersed with light comedy, usually associated with Meg Ryan or Sandra Bullock.
Sorry. Samberg's comedic edge, along with his dramatic moments showing his growth as a performer, helps make this film stand out from the typical rom-com crowd, and perhaps lands on my list as one of the better films of this year.
Little Joey is watering dog shit. It's weird.
In the end, I think you'll find this film very entertaining. It's a lot of fun. And I think on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a 7. This is, of course, based on my useless opinion. You can find this little gem on Hulu for now, but hopefully it expands to a more accessible platform soon.
Do you sleep with people in here?
Great question. I have, but it takes a lot of work.
I want to thank you again for watching. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments what you thought of the film. I'm interested to find out. That's it. I'll see you very shortly, very soon, maybe next week, maybe the week after. I have no idea. When a good film comes out, I'm going to review it. I'm not a big fan of reviewing films that I don't like. Sometimes I must admit I watch films and I don't like them, and I don't like to come out here and bash them. So I'm going to typically try to give you 5 and ups. If there's a huge, big, giant movie that I'm sure everybody wants to see, I'm going to go ahead and review it. Just as an example, a lot of people have been asking me what I thought of Hamilton. I couldn't make it through 10 minutes of them singing and rapping over that. But I'm not a fan of La La Land. I get it. Its production is fantastic. It looks like a great movie. A lot of work went into it, and I can appreciate it, but I can't sit here and honestly review a movie that I can't stomach to sit through. So I'm not going to do films like that. But hopefully you're here for what I do, and what I present is something unique. I'll see you next time. Gator out.
Gator McCluskey, everybody.
Documentary series. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell so you know when new reviews arrive.
Go to the Gator McCluskey channel. Yeah. Give him a round of applause. A great review. So look, I've been on this thing for like 2 hours. Jesus. I just did this for fun. Just to do a test. Didn't even realize I'd be here for 2 hours. 2 hours and 29 minutes I've been doing this. Wow. So I'll have to do more, and we'll have to do some real stuff. I'll do a real show where it'll be actual show. You got it, my man. We're gonna have to do some more stuff. I got to expand this show to do more, and I want to have an entertainment segment. Maybe we'll do a like a live review kind of thing, something like that. Or we could do a shorter, you could edit down like a 1 or 2 minute review or something that I'll play. Or you can call in. We could talk about movies. Or we could Zoom, talk about stuff, whatever. I don't know. Figure it out. I'm going to do more. I got a lot of views in my subscribers, because I was going to do this big Michael Jackson thing that never happened. And there was a big reason for that. So now I intended this show to be a show about everything. And that's what it'll be about. And I stopped with COVID because I just didn't want to talk about COVID, which is what I said in the beginning. I just didn't want to do a show every day about COVID. And I do a radio show, and we hardly, it's like everything was COVID for weeks. So it was like everything had to do with COVID. And still, to this, everything's about COVID. We do consumer news. It's all about COVID. I do entertainment news. It's all about COVID. So we got to do more. So I might do maybe I'll do some music reviews or something like that. I'll talk about my top 10 albums, and I'll play music. I don't have the music set up here right now. It's in my computer. I have a separate computer for music. And it's not here. It's at my DJ station, which is across the room. Though I do have music in my computer, but it's a lot easier to find it the other way. So maybe one day I'll do a whole show about that. We'll see. Well, who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do. But yes, as Tanya said, it was awesome. And the editing skills, the green screening, I love it all. It's amazing. We got to get you some subscribers and get this show on the road. And I'll do all I can to promote you. I mean, I got to promote me too. But we'll do that. Because I got to take this show to further heights. I mean, I set out to do a radio show. I didn't set out to do a YouTube channel. I mean, to be honest with you, if I could, this is what my whole show would look like. Okay? If I was able to, I would have my entire show would be this. Wait, let me find it. Where is it? My whole show would just be this. And all you would hear is me talking. Like on the radio. And I would just have this. Just a logo. But I quickly realized when I did that no one would listen and nobody would watch anything I did. Because for whatever reason, they have to see something. Even if it's just this, me on a microphone. I mean, I could get a green screen, I guess, throw it back here, but I'm in the corner. I mean, it's hard to tell. You see this curtain here? See, I told you it's got a mirror. That's it. But like everything else that's back here, I'm in the corner. This right here is the corner of the room. So I could green screen the whole corner, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't really have need for a green screen. I don't care that people see like the equipment. You know, I just threw this webcam up in the beginning. I wasn't even going to come on camera. I just threw it up on the monitor. And this is what you get. I hardly adjusted the thing, I don't know, whatever. I was doing a test run, see what happens. So here's what you get, but I'm gonna do more. Yeah, Disney. I have Disney. I have YouTube. I have everything. Well, thank you, Gator, for my killer radio voice. It's a lot of processing, you know. You see the big microphone and you know, I process it and sound cool, and I got boards and I can take phone calls. That's the other thing too. That it may sideline me. Well, I have two boards here, but the board that I use, the Rodecaster Pro, which I will say you can look it up, is what I use and what you're hearing me through. And I can take phone calls, and I can do it two ways. I can plug the phone directly into the board itself, or I could Bluetooth it. And the problem is the Bluetooth part is broken. I went away last month and I shut all my equipment down. And when I came back, I turned it on. The Bluetooth portion stopped working, which means I have to send this thing in to get fixed because it's still under warranty. But they won't send me a replacement. But I do have another audio board here. Here, I'm going to show you. I'll show you behind the scenes of the show. So here's, wait, I gotta change a monitor so I can see what I'm doing. So here's the show. Look, here's the boards. That's what it looks like. This is my view. Oh yeah, by the way, here, I'll show you this. Here's my view. There's the time. Look, Gator, there you are. Oh, that's the wire from the camera. Look. That's my other screen. This is the screen with you know, I'm getting feedback, but that's the OBS screen. Then I come over here, my other computer. So I just put the camera on this screen. So I got this stuff is behind me. The mixer from 1998. That's my DJ controller. That's where the laptop's supposed to go. And that's where the laptop is over there. You can't really see it, but it's my house. See, it's behind the scenes. When else are you going to see that? The behind the scenes. So look, see, I just put the camera and now the angle's off. Oh, what a mess. Let's put it like that. So that's what everything looks like. So I got to do more with this show, and I got to use video clips, and you know, there's a lot that goes into producing a YouTube channel, as Gator will tell you. It takes a while to produce this stuff, and the stuff that I do. I mean, when I'm on the air, we're like we do everything. What's it called? Spontaneously. We just make it up. You know what I mean? I don't write stuff down. As you see, this whole now I'm going almost 3 hours I've been on this. And I've just been talking for 3 hours. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Everything is just conversation. But I need to, if I'm going to do an actual show, thank you about the setup. If I'm going to do a real show, I got to prepare. I got to have some stories. And if I do video, I got to have some kind of video. Some pictures. Like I still have my old setup in OBS for when I did the Michael Jackson shows. So look, I'll put this on real quick. It's playing. It automatically just keeps playing. Like it's all different pictures of Michael. So look, I'll cut to this. So look. So there's when I did the old Michael Jackson show, and I was talking because I didn't want to be on the camera. I just talked over this stuff while I had different pictures of Michael. So this is what I did. I just used this. And like, yeah, I mean, I guess they could maybe take it down. I just use pictures. I don't know. I don't know why they would take me down for using those pictures, considering like I'm all for Michael. So why would they take that down? But if I'm going to talk about something, I got to have video of it. Otherwise, what's the point? You know what I mean? You gotta have something to show people. That's why I just didn't want to show anything. That's why I just wanted to be on the air and just talk like radio. So I guess I will record it, and it'll be just a podcast where you'll just hear the voice. And then I'll have it on YouTube, and then you hear video. You see video, hear video. You see the video of me on the microphone. But Gator, you're doing it right. You got all video, you got effects and sound effects and clips, and you got the whole thing going. So if I want to do anything like that, I got to do the same thing, and I got to prepare. But what I do so spontaneous, I don't. It's hard for me to to think about what I'm doing, unless I do like a review of an album or something. Then I have to put together like clips of the video. I mean, I guess I don't have to. I could just play the song with the album cover. I would do that if I'm going to do a review. I see a lot of reviews of the reaction videos. Those are great, by the way. The guys who do those things are geniuses. They just do, they never heard Stairway to Heaven, and they do a review of the song. And you got millennials, 20-somethings, never heard of Stairway to Heaven. Never heard of Freebird. And they just do a reaction of this to the song. They get like 1 million views, man. It's genius. I need that. So I'm going to do more. I'll get something to actually talk about. Besides COVID, in the COVID world that we live in, just talk about music or something like that. And I'll do some more shows, and I'll put it out on YouTube and Facebook Live and everywhere else. Right now, it's just here. And I'm not even recording it, by the way. This is not even getting recorded. None of it. So I could do anything. I'm not recording. Unless Facebook automatically records it. I don't think they do. So I'm not recording it in OBS. I'm not recording it audio-wise. So it'll just, when I stop it, it stops, and that's the end. But it still says, please check the video resolution. The current resolution is 768 by 432, which is not optimal. Looks pretty optimal to me. I'm looking at it on my other computer over here. It looks fine. I guess I have to get a 1080p camera anyway. This is only 720. So it's fine. It's fine for what it is. So I've been talking now for 2 hours and 42 minutes. And I had fun. And I didn't even plan on it. You want to do Michael Jackson podcast, but it's going to be at least a year because I don't know how to make videos like that. Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing, Tanya. It's not easy. And I know how to make videos. And I know it. And I'm telling you it's not easy. When I did this thing, here, let me bring it back up for you. When I did this, it's going to come back. It's going to start at the beginning again. But when I did this, okay, let me tell you what I had to do just to do this Michael Jackson thing. First of all, I found the background that says Michael Jackson. Okay, let me show you this. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to take out the pictures so you'll just see. First of all, there's a gazillion pictures that are in here. So if I take out, so at first I had to find this. Okay, I'm going to show you this. I had to find that. Okay, that's a PNG file that I had to put on there because I wanted some kind of background because I knew the pictures weren't going to fill up the screen. So I go, let me have a cool background. So I found that. Then I went and I downloaded a whole bunch of pictures of Michael Jackson and put it in a slideshow. And then that's why you get this. So every time I go back to it, you see it starts from the same picture. It starts from the beginning of the slideshow. It's just the way the slideshow was set. So you have to actually put some thought into things. And what I do on the air and the radio, not to say that there's no thought, but we do things very spontaneously. We look at some stories, we look at what's going on in the world, and then we just talk about it. That's what I do. It's commentary. Now, if I'm going to expand out to do comedy bits and reviews and things like that, I got to put more preparation. This was no preparation. This was just me yapping for 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's easy. We got to put preparation into it. It's a whole nother story. But that's what you got to do if you want to succeed in YouTube world. You got to have a game plan. So I'm still formulating my exact game plan. But a lot of it is just going to be yapping about what's going on in the world. I could do that. But if I talk about a subject, I'm going to probably show a little bit of video. But that's what we're going to do. It's coming soon. And I'll have it on YouTube and on Facebook and stream it on live. And I got to look at how I can stream it on different platforms at the same time. And then you got to do a little advertising and you get people to watch you. And it's a whole thing. People think you just put a video up and everyone's going to watch. It just doesn't work that way unless you're, celebrity. Other than that, it doesn't work that way. So thank you guys for watching. And I will have more soon. And till next time, I'll be in touch. We had fun. I had fun. So you guys take care. And we'll see you next time.